Hey guys, how's it going? So today is one of those days where I was kind of having an off day. Things were not getting done as they should. So Sean just went ahead and he took all of the kids to the library and the park, which just made several days, several kids' days, because they love the library. That is a happy zone for our children because they love to read. I get an hour and a half to just unwind a little bit. I got to finish up some laundry. I'm going to start supper. Got to do some things in peace and just chill for a few minutes. So on tonight's menu, you guys are going to walk around with me for the moment. That sounded good until I started tripping over toys. That's the kind of day it's been. So today, you're going to help me. I want to see you try to help me. Come on, reach to the screen. No. Today, the plan is to make, I make an al pastor pork dish. It is an official dish, al pastor, not what I make. I buy the pre-seasoned al pastor pork package from Sam's Club. That goes into the Instant Pot with some other stuff, and then we turn it into tacos or whatever else, depending what I mix into it. I've turned it into soup before. Get creative. You can use a lot of things for a lot of things. So it's time to grab the big boy. Let's get this started. For anybody who's previously missed a fridge tour, you know, not a whole lot has changed. We keep a lot of the same basics. Figure I'd give you a sneak peek while I grab out the pork. Guys, I'm not even gonna lie. I wasn't kidding. It's been kind of a rough day coming out here to make supper, doing this video, and I'm realizing how much of a mess my kitchen is. That it's been somewhat neglected today. There's crumbs all over the counter. You're hearing a ton of rustling from the plastic bag around the pork. I think everybody just has those days where, you know what? The mess is still going to be there tomorrow. So the fact that I sat and read 2 extra books to the little ones, and that Sean is giving me this little breather, I'm just going to appreciate all of that, look past the crumbs, hopefully you do too, and know that it'll be cleaned up after supper. That's the way it goes. So for anybody interested, this is what the package looks like. It is pre-seasoned. It's made up for al pastor. Use it for whatever you want to. It is fairly inexpensive as far as meat goes. And it really cooks up a lot. So this, I'm just going to cut this open. This kind of, I don't want to say congeals together, but it basically forms a giant blob. So you break up all the little meat chunks as I'm putting it in here. So I'm not sauteing onions or anything in the Instant Pot today. I am just adding the pork, some liquid, because it's the Instant Pot. You always have to have at least 1 cup of liquid in there, preferably on the bottom, so that nothing scorches and the liquid helps it to come to pressure. So you need that. So I'll probably add some stock, some tomato sauce. I have pre-cooked rice in the fridge that I made up the other day. I'm going to add to this when it's done. Normally I would have cooked the rice in it, but since I already have it and it needs to be used, that's how we're doing it today. All right, so in all its uncooked glory, there's the meat, tomato sauce. Really can't see it anymore, but there is some beef broth down there. A little bit of light helps. Still can't really see it, but anyhow, I ended up doing about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups of beef broth. So now that I have all of that in, you're probably wondering why the beef broth and the tomato sauce with the pork. I want it to be saucy. I want that, in fact, I almost should add just a hair more broth, but the meat itself will release some of the juices. And I want it to be saucy because, like I said before, I'm going to add that rice to it, which is going to need sauce. So I will put the lid on here and helps if you plug it in too. I always wait for that telltale chime that says, hey, the lid's on, hey, the lid's closed, so that I know I've actually done it right. So let's try that again. Like that chime. Okay, lid's closed. We're gonna make sure that the valve is to seal. And then, oh, given the fact that it's, given the fact that it's just meat, it won't take very long. I always end up doing things on manual. I'm gonna try hitting meat. Actually, I'm just gonna hit meat. The meat button, set it for 35 minutes on high, and there it goes. So that'll take probably 10 minutes or so to come to pressure. 35 minutes is going to not just fully cook the meat, but it's going to cook it down enough that it's soft. I can feed it to all of the kids. It's going to really get that tomato sauce in there. Al pastor pork is good. It can be a little spicy for some people, so the tomato sauce tampers that a little bit, which means all of the kids can eat it. We'll cook that. As soon as it's done, I'm going to throw the rice in, hit it on saute until I bring everything back up to a little bit of a bubble. And then we'll throw it on taco shells with sour cream and call it a day. All right, so the Instant Pot finished cooking. I just finished doing a quick release on the pressure. So let's open it up and see what this looks like. Okay, so the pin has dropped. The valve is open because I just released the pressure. This is 13 minutes after it finished cooking. A chunk of that is from the time it takes to release the pressure. The rest is the time it took me to get back over here once it finished. All right. Ooh. It's a little steamy. Okay, so at the moment what it looks like is a meat blob covered with tomato sauce, surrounded by sauce. I have my handy little meat chopper here from Pampered Chef that I'm going to just use to break all of this up and get it down into tiny pieces. All right, that's as chopped as it's gonna be for the moment. I hit the cancel button so it would quit keeping it warm. We're actually going to hit saute now. So this brings it up to a higher temp. I have my containers of pre-cooked brown rice. I'm going to start with putting one of these in. I will see how it fills it, decide whether or not to add the second one. All right, so I actually ended up adding about 1.5 of the containers of rice. You can tell it's still fairly saucy in here, but by time the rice absorbs a little bit of it, I don't want it to become too dry by adding both of them, but it definitely needed more than just one. So we'll mix all this in. Let this heat thoroughly and completely. Oh, I got a big rice chunk there. And then we'll turn this into tacos. All right, I've brought this up to the point where we're getting some nice bubbles going, so this is nice and hot now. That rice is fully incorporated. Ra came into the kitchen, has helped me shred some cheese. Then we've got the sour cream we'll add. I did mix up Micah's. The kids are all panicking because I put cottage cheese in his dish since somebody will be feeding it to him. He likes it. He likes cottage cheese, Ritz crackers mixed into things, so whatever. That's what he's getting. So let's get these guys dished up. They're hot. We got blow on them. You like tacos? Yeah.
I can't go.
You ready to eat your tacos? Charlie's over there dishing up. All right, guys. So I was planning to do a little bit more of a video after I had finished cooking everything, and was going to, show pre-made tacos and whatnot before I fed them to the kids. Kids got hungry, so there was just the little clip of Blake and Taya with theirs. Charlie's dishing up. A couple of the other big girls are headed that way now. So I am sitting here feeding Mr. Moo. Huh. Do you like it, don't ya? Pretty good stuff. Yeah. Yummy? Say yummy.